Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we try to make sense of the financial mumbo and figure out what is really going on behind the scenes. And today we're diving into the Lord Abbett private credit funds. Latest update, and let me tell you it involves some interesting tweaks to their borrowing arrangements that could have a ripple effect. So what is the big news? Well, this filing is all about extending some key dates and adjusting the cost of borrowing for Lord Abbett PCF Financing LLC, which is basically a behind-the-scenes part of the main Lord Abbett Private Credit Fund. It is like they're fine-tuning their financial engine to keep things running smoothly and maybe even a little more efficiently. Now let's break down what this actually means for the fund. Think of a credit agreement as the rulebook for how the company borrows money. This document is an amendment, meaning they're changing some of those rules. PCF Financing is the borrower. This is the entity that actually takes out the loans, and the Lord Abbett Private Credit Fund is like the parent company overseeing things. Bank of America is a major player here, acting as the administrator and the main bank arranging the deal, and State Street Bank and Trust Company is keeping an eye on the collateral, which is usually assets that back up the loan. So what are these changes? First up, the revolving period is moved from 2028 to October 2028. This means the fund gets more time to borrow money under the terms of this agreement. It is like getting an extended runway to take off next. The scheduled maturity date is pushed from January 2030 to October 2030. This is the date when the whole loan needs to be paid back, so they bought themselves more time. This gives them more flexibility and breathing room in their financial planning. But here is a really interesting part. The applicable margin, which is essentially the interest rate they pay on the loan, is being reduced. The margin used to be between 1.60% and 2.00% with a minimum of 1.90%. Now it is going to be between 1.60% and 1.80% with a minimum of 1.80%, while the top end of the range decreased. The minimum staying at 1.80% means they still guaranteed to pay at least that much, but the upper limit is lower. This is good news because it means they potentially pay less interest on their borrowings over time, which can add up to significant savings. This is like getting a small discount on your grocery bill every time you shop, which over a year can really make a difference for a fund of this size. This entire update also falls under the creation of a direct financial obligation, or an obligation under an off-balance sheet arrangement. Now, what does that mean in plain English? It means the fund is officially making a new financial commitment or taking on a new financial responsibility. It is not something hidden away, it is out in the open, and it CTS their financial picture directly. This is important because investors and regulators want to see all the financial commitments a company has so they can properly assess its risks and its overall health. So to recap, the most important document here is the first amendment to the credit agreement. It is dated the 2nd of October 2025, and it is amending the original credit agreement from the 23rd of January 2025. We're talking about the terms and conditions of how money is borrowed and repaid for PCF financing, which is a part of the larger Lord Abbett Private Credit Fund. And finally, for those who like to geek out on the digital presentation of these documents, there is the interactive data file, also known as inline XBRL. This is a format that makes it easier for computers to read and analyze financial reports, which is super helpful for transparency and for automated analysis tools. It is like putting the report into a format that robots can easily understand. So what is the story here? Well, Lord Abbett Private Credit Fund, through its subsidiary PCF Financing, is essentially refinancing and adjusting its debt terms. They are getting more time to borrow and a longer runway before they have to pay everything back, and importantly, they are potentially lowering the cost of borrowing by reducing the interest rate margin. This suggests a strategic move to optimize their financing structure, potentially to reduce costs and improve profitability. It shows they are actively managing their debt and looking for ways to operate more efficiently. It also indicates a level of confidence from Bank of America and other lenders who are willing to extend these terms, meaning they likely view the fund as a solid borrower. Looking at this from a Warren Buffett perspective, we want to see companies that understand their business and manage their capital wisely. This move by Lord Abbett Private Credit Fund shows a disciplined approach to financial management. They are not necessarily growing at a breakneck pace, but they are fine-tuning their operations to be more robust in cost effective. The extended dates offer stability, and the reduced margin directly impacts their bottom line positively. The Main risk I see is the general economic climate and potential shifts in interest rates, which could impact the value of the assets they invest in. But this filing itself is about strengthening their internal financial structure. In conclusion, Lord Abbett Private Credit Fund is making smart adjustments to its debt agreements, extending timelines and potentially lowering interest costs. This is a sign of proactive financial management and a focus on efficiency. It is not a dramatic shift, but a crucial step in optimizing their operational framework. Alright, that's our breakdown of this filing. What are your thoughts on these financial maneuvers? Do you think these extensions and rate adjustments will significantly benefit the fund? Let us know in the comments. Below, if you found this breakdown helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of corporate finance. And don't forget to join our Discord community linked in the description for more exclusive content and discussions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode of Corporate Decoder.